Good morning. Welcome to Talking Pop Culture with Jake D. We are live this morning to talk about the Mandalorian Chapter 10, The Passenger. Oh, man. Mando. So, Disney Star Wars, under the leadership of Jon Favreau, continues to give us our weekly doses of Mando's side quests. The biggest thing that I can take away from this episode, honestly, is that this felt very much like a video game side quest today. At a high level, you get a pretty good opening scene. Mando's trying to return to Mos Eisley, gets ambushed by three. Not sure if they were bounty hunters or if these guys were just kind of sort of general criminals or what have you that thought they found an easy mark to steal stuff from. But Mando runs into these guys. They stop him from getting back to Mos Eisley, and you get a pretty good, what I would say, a Mando action scene where he takes out these three guys, and he protects the baby Yoda, and then goes back about his way. Totally decent opening to the episode. Enjoyed that. It was good. Western Mando, which is kind of what I want to see from the show. And then he gets back to Mos Eisley and gets another lead on where he can find Mandalorians. And he gets it from Auntie Kathy, the lady he births at her dock in Mos Eisley. But in order to get where he needs to go, he's got to take a passenger who's got some precious cargo, which turns out to be her eggs, and she needs to get them to her husband. But there's a catch. She will take him there, and they'll give him the lead as where the Mandos are. But he can't go at faster than light travel because that would kill her eggs. And so it really felt like a video game side quest to me. I mean, just straight up, there wasn't anything wrong with the episode per se, but it was certainly filler more than anything else. He's taken his trip and he's worried about pirates and he's worried about Imperial remnants and things like that causing him problems. And what he runs into instead is New Republic X-Wings. So he does run into trouble on his little trip, not from where he was worried about it. And of course, he runs from the X-Wings because they're acting as law enforcement. And as we recall, he's had some run-ins on the wrong side of the law with the New Republic from last season with the Prison Break episode. So he runs from the X-Wings and he ends up crash landing on this not Hoth ice planet. And his passengers shook up and, not happy with him and things like that. And, she goes and takes a bath in a thermal pool and a bunch of space spiders chase them, and the ship is all messed up. The New Republic X-Wings have, of course, been continuing to look for him. They get him out of his little trouble that he's had, help him out with the space spiders, but then they go ahead and cut him loose because they realize that even though he broke a prisoner out, he also left them with 3 high-level targets and tried his best to protect the guy in the ship. And this, of course, was the Bill Burr episode from last season that they're referencing. And, so they take care of the space spiders, pop off. Mando manages to seal up just the cockpit to the Razor Crest, and they head back out on their journey. And that really is the summary of the entire episode. It was an adventure of the week. It was a little episodic encounter in his overall need to try to find the Mandalorians who will help him find Baby Yoda's kind, which, of course, I believe to be the Jedi. So this one, it's not that it was a slow episode or that it was not well put together or anything like that, but it was sort of uneventful for me, and it didn't do much to drive the larger story that we're supposed to be experiencing in Mandalorian Season 2. So why is that a problem? So if this was a 20-episode season, you can afford to take the time to do your video game side quests like we got in today's episode. That's not a big deal. It's totally okay. Interspersing not particularly large storyline type episodes is expected good and good storytelling in that type of larger cast of a season. But modern television these days, whether it be on streaming or even if it's on TV, it's not intended to take that kind of larger, wider, longer view of things, where having side quest episodes like this is a good way to pad your season length. When we're dealing with a very concise episode run like we've got in Mandalorian, it doesn't seem like the best choice to me to have a largely unimportant episode like we've got. So, Mando's ship got all messed up, and now we know where the damage to it came from in the trailer that we saw, and it was from this crash landing on the Not Hoth. So, rating on the episode, I'm gonna have to go with just be honest, this one's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's not a bad episode. Okay, so don't misunderstand. It's not like they did anything wrong. Okay, it's exactly, Red Shirt. Fewer episodes per season requires a higher value on each, so there can't be many that are padding, and that's exactly what we got today. The Passenger, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't compelling. And it didn't do much of anything to move things forward. And I keep going back to saying a video game side quest, because that really, truly, to me, is what this was. It was a video game side quest. The ship gets messed up, and you learn that the New Republic's going to kind of look the other way for him, which is good, but that's kind of the extent of it. And when we know that there's a larger arc that matters a lot more, and you get an episode like this, it's just not as compelling. And that's why I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. Technically it looked good. There was nothing wrong with the acting, and there wasn't anything in any way world breaking or anything like that. There wasn't anything that reminded me of the Disney tragedy, which is, of course, the 3 movies in the Skywalker storyline that Disney released. So there was nothing awful and bad like that, but there also wasn't anything particularly good in the sense of the story and your engagement into it. So so that's where I'm at. This is not the kind of episode that's going to grab viewers and help rejuvenate the brand. It didn't hurt it. but it didn't help it either, and that's why it earns a 6 out of 10 from me. So, the first episode, I did enjoy the first episode more than this one, and that's why it earned a 7.5 from me as compared to the 6 this week. I sure hope that we don't have many more of these filler type episodes where we're not driving the story significantly, because we've only got 8 chapters this season. And if we got 4 chapters that are like this, that's heading the show to a very kind of meh sort of place, which is not what we need for Mandalorian right now. Right now, we need something compelling that's going to draw people, and today's episode just wasn't that. So there's the high level. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, and it didn't drive the story. There's your review. So, all right, y'all, I am going to power down. But first, before I get out of here, just a quick reminder, please remember to like the video, share it with your friends on social media, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. It's one of the best ways to help a small creator like myself on YouTube grow our reach and compete with your Disney Pluses and your Amazon Primes of the world on the platform. Thank you for popping in, and I'll catch you on the next video.